Good evening, all. Today I wanted to discuss one of my favorite cult films, and that is 1986's Big Trouble in Little China, directed by John Carpenter and starring Kurt Russell, Dennis Dunn, Victor Wong, James Hong, Kim Cattrall, Suzee Pai, Carter Wong, Peter Kwong, and uh, James Pax, and Kate Burton as a character named Margot. It's a crazy, wild story. It's a martial arts, action, fantasy, romance, comedy, and all of the elements work. One of the interesting things that connects it to The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai is that although it was written by a couple of first-time screenwriters, Gary Goldman and David Weinstein, it was adapted by W.D. Richter, who also worked on The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, written by Earl McRouch, and again adapted by W.D. Richter. And produced, I'm sorry, directed by W.D. Richter. So that's a direct link to that movie, but it has nothing to do with it. It's really a wild, crazy story. Without going into all the detail, I'll give you the overview. Kurt Russell plays this kind of crazy character named Jack Burton who drives a truck called the Pork Chop Express, and he delivers pigs to Chinatown. That's how he makes his living. And his friend is Wang Shi, who is played by Dennis Dunn, and he and Wang Shi are gambling, and they're doing it with a bunch of other people, and they're cleaning everybody else out, and then they're the only two ones left, and Jack wins the game, and he bets some double or nothing that he can split a bottle in half with a machete, and he says, "Oh, okay, but not that bottle." And he switches the bottle that he had, and he says, "This one." He gives him the one he was drinking, and he tries to do it, and it doesn't work, and so now he owes him the money, but he doesn't have it. So he says, "Well, I got to go pick up my girl at the airport. You come with me and follow me, and I'll get you the money there." Well, he doesn't. Jack Burton doesn't trust him, so he says, "Get into the truck. I'll take you to the airport." He's driving him to the airport. They meet Miao Yin, but they also meet this character Gracie Law, who's played by Kim Cattrall. And she's trying to bring this other girl from China without her being intercepted by this uh, basically a group of white slavers called one of them called the White Tiger, and they run into this gang called the Lords of Death, and the Lords of Death wear these like weird sunglasses. One of them wears a pair of sunglasses that looks like something out of The Prisoner, and I think that was intentional, a little nod on Carpenter's part to that series. But they make off with not only with this girl who Gracie Lee was trying to protect, but with Miao Yin, the character who uh, Wang Chi was going to marry and was waiting for. And that's the character played by Suzee Pai. She's a rare Chinese girl with green eyes, and from Hong Kong apparently. And so now they have to go get her. They have to find her. They're chasing these Lords of Death into the parking lot, and they have to duck because they have guns, and they're chasing them, and they almost run them. The Lords of Death almost run them over. They jump into Jack's truck and drive into the city, uh, and Wang Chi is directing him, where they are, and they end up in the middle of a fight between two different Tong gangs, uh, uh, the Wing Kong, who are bad, and I believe the other ones are called the Chang Shi, and they're Chang Sing. I'm sorry, Chang Sing, and they're good. But they're like going through this huge martial arts fight where they're using like weapons and swords and guns and knives, and they're like having this huge battle and quarter staves and just knocking the crap out of each other and busting everything up. And then these three demons, as it were, show up. Thunder, played by Carter Wong, and Rain, played by Peter Kwong, and Lightning, played by James Pax. They all wear these like weird straw hats, and they have the capability of using the elements that they represent, and they can't be killed because they're not human, they're demons, and they drive the gangs off. Well, now they're still trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, and they almost another demon appears, and that's Lo Pan, and he's dressed in a very fancy, sort of a robe with dragons on it, and he's wearing a traditional, like, Chinese sorcerer's hat, and they run him over, but he's not killed. He appears behind the truck, and Jeffrey's like, "What the heck was that? How did I run him over and he didn't die?" And Wang Shi says that, it's Lo Pan, we got to get out of here. He's a demon and you can't kill him. Now, he's trying to figure things out, and they go to, Wang Shi runs a restaurant called the uh, Dragon of the Black Pool in Chinatown. They go to the restaurant, and Jack Burton's going, "What the heck happened? You got to tell me what's going on here." And he's speaking with him, and with also his friend Eddie, and Eddie is played by Donald Lee, playing Eddie Lee, and Eddie tries to tell him, what's going on, who Lo Pan is. He says, "You mean David Lo Pan, the guy who runs the Wing Kong Trading Company, the one of the Imperial Bank of Chinatown. He's one of the richest guys in Chinatown." He says, "That's just his appearance. He's actually this ancient demon named Lo Pan, and he has to." He's under a curse that he cannot become flesh again until he marries a girl with green eyes and sacrifices her to the quote unquote god of the East and also to the first emperor of China. Well, this girl with green eyes is Miao Yin, and they find out through a series of questions, and also with the help of Gracie Law, who knows a lot about Chinatown, that she was taken to this kind of brothel called the White Tiger, which is run by a woman named Jun Kyoto Lu, who plays the character the White Tiger. And they decide they're going to send Jack Burton in, but he's disguised, and Russell does a great job. He plays this complete nerdy character who he looks like Brad Majors out of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he's got the little horn-rimmed glasses and a goofy jacket, and he goes in and he says, "What I'm really looking for is a girl with green eyes," and the proprietress says, "Chinese girls don't come with green eyes," and he's trying to look around and see if he can find where Miao Yin is. And suddenly there's an earthquake, like the whole building shakes apart. It's being caused by these demons, thunder, rain, and lightning, and they're like ripping the building apart, looking for Miao Yin. They try to stop them, but they're not able to, and they escape. The storm, the three storms they call them, escape with her, and they're going to take her to Lo Pan. Now they have to go rescue her. They recruit Wang Shi's friend, Egg Shen, who gives kind of these cheesy Chinatown tours. His bus is called Egg Fu Young Tours. And there's a lot of, kind of like almost stereotypical, Chinese jokes in here, but none of it is mean-spirited. None of it's, racist. And all the jokes land. All the jokes are funny. One of the great things about this movie is it's all its jokes land. There's a whole bunch of goofy stuff that goes on. There's a scene where I love where Jack Burton's trying to be all macho, and he's got this like Mac 10 submachine gun. And he shoots a piece of the ceiling out and hits him on the head and knocks him unconscious. I just thought that was great. It's just something that would never happen to John Wayne, but that kind of parody that he's doing of both John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, and just kind of a goofy character. Who is very macho on the outside, but is actually kind of a doofus, which I think he really played very well in this movie. He comes off as he doesn't know what the heck he's doing, but he always pretends that he does, and that really kind of gels his character. Very funny, very strange. The special effects are fantastic. There's a sorceress duel between Egg Shen and David Lo Pan, which is really good, and they fight it with their fingertips, which I thought was really, really great. There's a great, creepy, weird like temple underneath Chinatown. There's all these jokes about the Chinese have all these different hells, and one of them they go into this elevator, and the elevator fills up with water, and they're going to be drowned. And then they suddenly force the doors open. They're underwater, and there are all these skeletons hanging upside down that are kind of half rotten. He says, Jack Burton says, "Where the hell are we?" And Wang Shi says, Hell of the Hell of the Upside Down Sinners. Like, oh my god, that's just so great. Uh, Kim Cattrall is kidnapped by this weird demon that looks like Chewbacca and the xenomorph from Alien had a baby. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like a Sasquatch with an alien's face. Just roars, doesn't ever say anything. But and there's a gag about that at the end too. Really good movie, really funny, fantastic fight scenes, magnificently choreographed. Um, Kim Cattrall is great as usual. Kurt Russell is great. Dennis Dunn is really good. Victor Wong is fantastic as Egg Shen, and of course James Hong chews the scenery like never before in this movie as Lo Pan, and it's just fantastic, and I highly recommend it. John Carpenter also wrote the theme song, which we hear over the end, titled "Big Trouble in Little China." He wrote the lyrics, another band sang it, but the film was made for, I think they said, about 20 between 19 and $25 million, and unfortunately, it only made back $11 million at the box office. It was considered a flop. A lot of critics panned it. They didn't like it. They didn't get it, and that embittered Carpenter so much that he said he was never going to work with Hollywood again. From that point, he went completely independent, which works for our favor because without him going independent, he never would have made such great movies as The Thing, which again is just a fantastic. I think it's really his best movie. Although I like a lot of John Carpenter's, I don't can't really say that there is one best. I like Dark Star. I like this. I like The Thing. I like almost everything. I don't really particularly care for Halloween, but that's just because I don't like slasher movies. But I wouldn't say it's not well made. It is well made. I can't watch stuff like that. It creeps me out too much. But Big Trouble in Little China is a completely other thing. Fantastic movie. It became a cult hit, basically on DVD and later on or on VHS and later DVD sales, and has now become a cult favorite, deservedly so. Again, I highly recommend it. Big Trouble in Little China from 1986 by John Carpenter.